Section 32 of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, translated by Courtney Langdon. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Inferno, Canto 32. The Ninth Circle, Treachery, Cocytus, Traitors to their relatives and to their country.
If I had rhymes that were as harsh and hoarse as would be fitting for the dismal hole, on which lean all the other circling rocks, I'd squeeze the juice of my conception out more fully. But because I have them not without fear do I resolve to speak, for to describe the bottom of the universe is not an enterprise wherewith to jest, nor for a tongue that says mamma and dad. Let then those ladies give my verse their aid, who helped Amphion build the walls of Thebes, that from the facts the telling differ not. O rabble, that ill-born beyond all people, are in a place to speak of which is hard, far better had ye here been sheep or goats. When we were down within the gloomy well, beneath the giant's feet, though lower far, and I still gazing at its lofty wall, I heard one say to me,
Look where thou walkest, and see that with thy feet thou trample not the heads of us two wretched, weary brothers.
Thereat I turned around, and saw before me, and 'neath my feet, a lake which, being frozen, seemed to be made of glass and not of water. The Danube up in Austria never made so thick a veil in winter for its course, nor yonder 'neath the cold sky did the dawn, as what was here. For even if Tambernic had fallen on it, or had Pietrapana, it had not cracked even at its very edge. And as a frog remains, to do its croaking, with muzzle out of water, in the season when oft the peasant dreams that she is gleaning, even so, as far as where one's shame is shown, the woeful shades were livid in the ice, as to the notes of storks they set their teeth. Each kept his face turned downward, from his mouth the cold, and from his eyes his saddened heart provides itself a witness in their midst. When I had gazed around a while, I looked down at my feet, and two I saw with heads so close together that their hair was mixed. Ye that are pressing thus your breasts together, say who ye are, said I. They bent their necks, and when their faces had been raised toward me, their eyes, moist only inwardly before, gushed upward through the lids, whereat the cold, binding the tears between them, closed them up. A clamp ne'er bound so tightly board to board, whereat, so great the anger mastering them, like two he-goats they butted one another. And one who had by reason of the cold lost both his ears, with face still lowered, said,
Why dost thou mirror thee so much on us? If thou wouldst know who those two near thee are, the valley from which thy Bisenzio flows belonged to their sire Albert, and to them they issued from one body, and thou canst search through all Caina, but thou it never find a shade more worthy to be fixed in ice. Not he, whose breasts and shadow broken were by one same blow at Arthur's hand, nor yet Focaccia, nor this fellow here, whose head so blocks me that I cannot see beyond, and who was Sassol Mascarione called. Who he was, thou, if Tuscan, now know'st well, and that thou put me to no further speech. Know then that I was Camaccione dei Pazzi, and that, to excuse me, I await Colleen.
Thereafter I beheld 1,000 faces made dog-like by the cold. Hence frozen ponds cause me to shudder now, and always will. And now, while toward that centre we were moving, where to all heavy objects gravitate, and I was trembling in the eternal cold, I know not whether it were will, or fate, or chance, but as I walked among the heads, hard in the face of one I struck my foot. Weeping he scolded,
Wherefore dost thou smite me? Unless thou comest to increase the vengeance for Monteperti, why dost thou molest me?
And I said, Teacher, wait now for me here, that I through him may issue from a doubt. Then at thy pleasure shalt thou hurry me. My leader stopped, and I to him, who still was savagely blaspheming, said, What sort of man art thou, that scoldest people so?
Now who art thou, that ghost?
He replied,
Through Antenora smiting cheeks so roughly that it would be too much wert thou alive.
I am alive, and it may profit thee, was my reply, for me to place thy name, if fame thou ask, among my other notes. And he,
I crave the contrary. Away with thee, and bother me no more. For ill dost thou know how to flatter in this bog.
Thereat I seized him by the nape, and said, It needs must be that thou reveal thy name, or that no hair remain upon thee here. Then he to me,
Though thou pull out my hair, I'll neither say nor show thee who I am, fall thou upon my head 1,000 times.
I had his hair wrapped round my hand already, and more than one shock had I plucked from him, while he was barking, with his eyes turned down. When here another cried,
What ails thee, Bowker? Is making noise with jawbones not enough unless thou bark? What devil touches thee?
Henceforth, said I would not have thee speak, perfidious traitor, for true news of thee I'll carry with me to thy lasting shame.
But be gone and tell where'er thou wilt.
He answered,
But be not silent if thou issue hence of him who had now just his tongue so ready. He here bewails the money of the French. Him of Duera thou canst say, I saw where cold the days are for the sinful foe. And if thou shouldst be asked who else was there, thou hast beside thee him of Beccaria, who had his gorget cut in two by Florence. Gianni de Soldanier is further on, I think, with Ganelon and Tebaldello, who while its people slept unlocked Faenza.
From him we had departed now, when two I saw, so frozen in a single hole, that one man's head served as the other's cap. And as because of hunger bread is eaten, even so the upper on the other set his teeth, where to the nape the brain is joined. Nor otherwise did Tydeus gnaw the temples of Menalippus out of spite, than this one was gnawing at the skull and other parts. O thou that showest by a sign so beastly hatred toward him thou eatest, tell me why, said I to him, on this express condition, that shouldst thou rightfully of him complain, I, knowing who ye are, and that one's sin, may quit thee for it in the world above, if that wherewith I speak be not dried up.
End of Inferno, Canto 32.